Hi friends, this is Krish. I'm called the Urban Naxal because I take a very blunt stand on a number of issues, political and economics, and I take these stands on behalf of the common man, the person who doesn't speak out for himself. Today I'm going to answer one question which has been raised many times. What happens if you have EMIs currently and you are not able to pay those EMIs? Should you pay those EMIs? What can you do? These are questions raised by people who have home loans, car loans, business loans, bank overdraft facility, number of other kind of informal lending. What to do? These loans may be coming from finance companies or from banks. Unless the lender actually is kind of holding you to hostage, like you have an asset that will simply get taken away, like jewelry for example, then majboor hoke dena padega. You just have to pay, or else he is going to take away your wife's jewels. It's a tough situation for those. Otherwise, even people with home loans and car loans given to you by banks, here is my suggestion to you. Don't pay if you are not in a position to pay. If you are suffering, if you think that your salary is not going to come next month, or if you have lost your job already, or if your business is closed down because of the lockdown and you have no income and you are racking up losses, if you see that your liquidity is going for a toss, and you are going to be stuck without any liquid assets, liquid cash, don't pay those EMIs to the banks or the finance companies. What to do? Are they going to take over your houses? Are they going to repossess your cars? And the answer I would say is, it will be a very foolish bank that repossesses your cars or your houses or your washing machine or whatever. Because if they do that, then they will have to sell it in auction. And the chances are that selling it in auction will probably result in big losses for them, because it's not going to be one or two people. There will be huge numbers of people who are unable to pay EMIs. Therefore, I repeat, don't pay. Instead, what I suggest is, write a letter to the bank saying force majeure applies here. What is force majeure? Force majeure is act of God, so-called act of God. Act of God is, if there's an earthquake, if there's a tsunami, things like that, then your contractual obligations basically stand suspended or diluted or even cancelled. You cannot be held to fulfill a contractual obligation if there is an earthquake or a tsunami, for example. The present COVID crisis is like 10 tsunamis all around India, is like having earthquakes in every city of India, is like having 3 world wars. The kind of damage that it is doing, that it has already done to the social and economic fabric of our country, and indeed of the whole world, cannot even be estimated. It is massive. It is more massive than any world war could have done. That much damage has happened already. So, under the present circumstances, your financial obligations stand diluted, and you should write a frank letter to your bank or your finance company saying, please hold, do not deduct EMIs. I will not be able to pay EMIs until my business and the economic scenario stabilizes. It will take me many months or maybe a year or more than a year to get back on my feet. Until then, please do not deduct EMIs. Now, what happens if they try to repossess your house? If you happen to be living in that house, I think you will be safely able to go to a civil court and say, force majeure applies, therefore I have not been able to pay. They cannot repossess my house. They should not repossess my house. They cannot take my house and auction it, or they cannot attach my assets and auction them. You will be able to safely say this before any court, and I'm quite sure that courts will entertain you and issue a stay order. I don't think any bank or any finance company is going to be foolish enough to try to repossess and sell your assets at this point of time. I don't think even any builder, if you owe him money, will be foolish enough to cancel your agreement because you did not pay your installment. Because you'll be able to go to the court and say force majeure applies here. See, friends, please understand the meaning of force majeure. You have financial obligations, you have contractual obligations, but contractual obligations can only be applied in normal times. Financial obligations can only be enforced in normal times. If there is a war or something catastrophic happening, like an earthquake or a tsunami or a flood or something like that, it is not fair to try and enforce contractual obligations. And that is why people who have all kinds of loan obligations should take shelter under the force majeure clause, approach the banks and say that please do not deduct EMIs. We are being decent human beings. That does not mean that you will push us to the wall and you will push us into financial failure. Because if EMIs are deducted under the present circumstances, or if cars, homes are repossessed, especially homes, assets are repossessed, are auctioned, okay, if properties are attached, you take an order from a collector and attach a property because someone owes you money. This kind of actions leads to further catastrophic collapse of the economy, which is already shaky. Even as a policy, I think government should issue not just advisories but directives to the banks to suspend collection on loans. If the government doesn't act on this, it is up to the individuals to act on their own and make sure that it is a clear thing between them and the bank that force majeure clause is now being invoked. So friends, be very clear-headed in this. Don't get scared of banks or anything. It is only we common people who get scared of banks. The small businesses get scared of banks. The big businesses like Vijay Mallya or like, all those big guys who ran away with the money, Nirav Modi, etc., they never get scared of banks. We are the ones who are always scared, and we are the ones who are targeted. Law is for the law-abiding. Those guys, the big industrialists who have thousands and thousands of crores of money that they have not paid to the banks, they are not afraid. And here we are, ordinary people, and we are afraid of banks. It is time to be unafraid. It is time to stand up for our own rights. It is time to speak clearly to the banks, to the government, to the system. We are not trying to crash the system here. We don't want to crash the banks. But at the same time, we have to preserve our own economic well-being, and having your money in your pockets, in your bank accounts, is the only way you can preserve your own economic and financial well-being and preserve the well-being of your family. And not just your family. See, if you don't pay a fat EMI to the bank, say, suppose you have EMIs of 1 lakh rupees going to the banks, okay? If you don't pay those EMIs, then you can instead use that money to take care of the people who are depending on you. You can continue to pay salaries to your employees. You can continue to keep them in their jobs even if they are not able to come for work. You can pay your driver, you can pay your housemaid, you can pay your office assistants. So it is not an immoral act to not pay the banks. I am not suggesting an immoral act. I am not suggesting an unethical act. What I am saying is help yourself and help the economy to survive by taking sensible decisions. You should not be driven by fear when you take these decisions. So friends, thank you. I am your friend, the Urban Naxal, Krishnaraj Rao. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind.